am reviewing Hartford Stage's production of 2.5 Minute Ride, written by Lisa Kron and directed by Zoe Golub-Sass, running through June 23rd at Hartford Stage at 50 Church Street in Hartford, Connecticut. Take the plunge and visit my Patreon page, where you can, for as little as $1 a month, support this show and my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee, which is available over on Spotify. Thank you to all my current patrons, especially my Neo and Hamilton tier patrons, and welcome to the new ones. A link will be in the description. A one-woman show, 2.5 Minute Ride, is a reflective yet often funny look back at the family history of Lisa Kron as she endeavors to create a video documentary of her father, who is quite aged at this point. Lisa, portrayed by Lena Kaminsky, focuses the story on three important moments in time: her brother's very traditional Jewish wedding, one of her family's annual trips to Cedar Point Amusement Park in Sandusky, Ohio, and a trip to Auschwitz, where her father's family was killed during the Holocaust. He himself had been rescued via the Kindertransport. The Cedar Point and Auschwitz trips are juxtaposed against each other as Lisa addresses the horrors and psychologically oppressive nature of Auschwitz, while also discussing the joy of a 70-year-old man who still gets a thrill out of a 2.5-minute roller coaster ride. Meanwhile, regarding the wedding, she and her lesbian partner find deeper meaning in their own relationship and encouragement for themselves. Coming in at a brisk 75 minutes, 2.5 Minute Ride has a distinct texture and style, most of which works, but at other times requires the audience to be patient for the emotional payoff. The play opens with Lisa giving us a slideshow presentation of her family. The catch is, there aren't any real images. There are just solid color images projected. First one was blue, and as the play began, I sat there wondering if there was an error with the projection. This caused me to be distracted and not pay attention to Lena for the first minute or two as I waited for Avery Trunko, the production stage manager, to hold the show. And since Trunko never did, and a second slide came up, a different color, I settled into the idea that it's all a joke, and we're to use our own imaginations along the way to fill in the blanks. It's an interesting idea, and maybe other people went with it quicker than I, but I found it initially distracting and was drawn more towards the impression of there being an error on stage than what the character Lisa was talking about. Lisa Kron's language is mostly lighthearted and very funny, with the exception of the dialogue regarding Auschwitz. Considering we don't spend much time in Auschwitz early in the play, it makes 2.5 Minute Ride feel a little less theater and more like a stand-up comedy show at times. It felt really focused on the punchlines as opposed to the story as a whole. It gets better as the more dramatic moments start to build. Putting aside the unintentional distractions of the slides opening the show and its early penchant for being a little too comic than theatrical, 2.5 Minute Ride is an overall funny and touching story of a daughter finding a deeper connection with her father, and in turn discovering more about who she is as a person along the way. Lena Kaminsky is great as Lisa. Though she is delightfully funny early on, she allows the weight of the darker elements of the story settle on her as she and her father enter Auschwitz, and the horrific imagery that comes about of taking a tour of the place, and then that gets elevated as she realizes that she forgot her father's glasses there and has to go back and get them. All the attention of the design is drawn to Lena. There isn't much set to address aside from a giant stack of cardboard boxes with random personal memorabilia on them. Aside from that, there's a chair and a projector and screen. Daisy Long's lighting focuses and expands as necessary to tighten or expand the tension surrounding Lisa, which works effectively. 2.5 Minute Ride is a simple, sensitive show. Lena Kaminsky is excellent, and the story is sensitive and tender as the character Lisa discovers more of her family, her connection to her father, and herself. But I'm only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see 2.5 Minute Ride, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be a link to my Patreon page, so visit that if you'd like to support my channel. You can also support my show by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be TheatreWorks Hartford's production of Sandra. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.